Hello, everyone. Welcome to Cabbage Patch Soap and my attempts at fixing the camera. There we go. Well, I guess it's just not going to be straight today. Oh, there we go. All right. Excellent. My name is Laura, and today we are doing a second attempt at the Ghost Swirl soap. If you saw our last live, the um, the Ghost Swirl, because I stick blended the side that had less water, it started to thicken up, and it was a little bit difficult to get that pull through tool to go through it without it dragging up through the or through the thinner batter. Hi, Patty. Welcome. It's totally fine. As it's fine as in it's a good soap still and everything, but I wanted to try it again and see if I can get this pull through tool to go through the soap, because I don't think I've ever seen anybody. Hi, Lorna, welcome. I don't think I've ever seen anyone do a pull through with the Ghost Swirl, so that's why I wanted to try it. The idea for the Ghost Swirl is not mine. A lot of soapers have used it. I don't know who originally came up with it, but I've seen a lot of people make it. They usually do it in a log style mold, well, or like a loaf style, um, like a square or rectangular mold, and then they pour it into 3 portions, and then they swirl through it. That's how I've seen it done before. So that's why I want to try this. I just want to see if it's even possible. I think it is possible, and I just want to see if it's practical now. So I'm just getting my gloves on real quick. Hi, Ian. Welcome. Yes, again. I know it's almost like I have an upload schedule or something. Hey, Stacy. Welcome. Stacy, did you see the hot air balloons? And actually, is there anybody here who didn't see the hot air balloons? Before I get started, let me just see what you guys are saying real quick. Oh, and I do have a small announcement, sort of an update, I guess, more than anything. I'll show you that in a minute. I'm just checking these oils. Haven't had a chance yet. Okay, I'll pull one off the shelf and show you. Okay, yeah, so I'm just checking the temperature on these oils. I want to make sure they're cool enough so that I won't have acceleration issues, which I don't really think is going to happen, but you never know. Okay. Yep, these look good. Okay, so I'm just going to set these aside. Don't show Stacy. She should have been here. Aw, poor Stacy. I don't want to do that to her. Okay, I'll pull one off the shelf real quick. I just got to get over there. Hopefully they're firming up good. I think they are. The little test bar I did came out really good. Okay, so here is how the hot air balloons came out. Hopefully the camera is picking up the colors. We got the sunrise here, the little basket, and then this is the hot air balloon, and then this is the other side. That's what the other side of that pull through look like. Is that side and this one. I like this pull through tool. It's supposed to look, I don't know what it's supposed to look like. If it's supposed to be a flower or a star, I think it's supposed to be a snowflake. And it's kind of cool because sometimes at the points here, you get these little circles. See, like right there is a good one. It's kind of neat. But yeah, and it smells really good too. So I'm super happy with how that came out. I'm going to go ahead and put this back on the shelf. It's got a cure. But yeah, so far, that recipe seems to be doing really good. Like I said, that test bar is not cured yet, but I used a little piece of like the end cut, and it seems to be doing really good. Like it has a nice feel on the hands when you wash with it and everything. So I'm super happy with that. Oh, let me go grab. I'm gonna grab a soap towel. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. Alrighty, and flipping the camera as usual. Let me see if I can. There we go. I don't know how that camera keeps getting so close. Let me see here. Oh yeah, Stacy, absolutely, definitely getting a lot of use out of it. Soap towels are these towels I use, Ian. Um, they are they really hold up well to the soap batter. They don't really get damaged. Um, and I use them to wipe off my tools and everything with even when they have raw soap batter on them. And it helps get that batter off. So that way when I go to wash the equipment, there's just a tiny bit of like film on the tools instead of thick layers of soap batter. It just makes the cleanup process way way faster. The dishes, because there's a lot of dishes involved um, when I make the soap. So having all this, basically it just needs to be washed with a little bit of hot soapy water real briefly instead of being scrubbed, because the soap layer can get really thick, and it's just soap, but it takes a while to like soak all that off. So it just speeds up the process. Yeah, there's a soap towel. Yep, the blue ones. Okay, so this is how. Oh, we have the announcement. Let's do that first. Okay, so this is that little jar I showed you last Monday, and what this is a little experiment I wanted to try because I have a lot of fragrances. And I want to use them in more than just soap, but I don't really make liquid lotions. I just make the solid ones. And I thought this would be another fun way of using up the using some fragrances. So I'm just going to carefully take this off. What this is, and hopefully it's not going to spill. I'm going to try not to make a mess here. Come on, let me get the. It's been on there for a week, so now it's being stubborn. Okay, there we go. All right, these are. I'm sure some of you know what this is. These are called like scent beads, and what they do is it's a type of plastic basically, and it absorbs oil. And then what you do is, after these take about a week or so to make, and then once these are fully absorbed or have fully absorbed the oil, you can use them as a freshener. So basically, I've got these little lids, and they're supposed to. There we go. It just screws on like that, and then it looks super cute. And you just leave it on like a shelf or somewhere, out of the reach of kids and pets, basically. And it lets the smell of the fragrance out, and it's just a really cool air freshener, and it just looks nice. It's just has these little, it almost looks like little crystals in there, so it's really pretty. So if this is something you guys like, maybe we can make these on a video. There are ways of coloring the stones, the little I guess scent gems or whatever they're called. There is a way of scenting those, or I'm sorry, coloring those, and I'm going to try a couple different methods possibly, and we'll see what happens. So now I just did this run real quick to see how the fragrance would smell and everything, and so far it's been really good, and it has absorbed the oil. So um, so far that's been a success. Normally there'd be like when I would turn it over, there'd usually be like a thick like pool of oil at the bottom, and so it's all been absorbed. So um, yeah, Patty, I thought they were really cool when I learned how to make them. So I'm gonna I'll set this aside out of the way, but yeah, if that's something you guys like, they can be customized pretty easily. So if there's a particular fragrance that I have that you would want in the scent beads, I can make them. They just take a week to make. So either I'd have to ship them after they're made, and then you'd have to let it sit for a week before you used it, or um, I'd have to make them, and there'd just be like a 1 week lead time. But that is a really cool option, especially if there's a fragrance you really like in your soap, but then of course the soap gets used up, and then then you don't have the fragrance anymore. Anyway, that one's vanilla, and it smells really good. So I might keep that one for personal use since it was just a tester, but yeah, it's a really cool idea, and the jar is glass, so it can be reused for something else like potpourri or something. Okay, so that was a little announcement. And if you guys have suggestions for those or questions or anything, let me know in the comments. And what I'll be doing is like in the future when I go through and like like I always do, I try your guys' suggestions and ideas. So what I did is I've already unmolded that soap that we made last week because I had to clean the mold because we're going to use it again. And you can sort of see here, even though this didn't work 100% to plan, you can see here that the different like it almost looks like two different colors, but that's not. It's just you saw we put no color or anything in there. This is just the different amounts of water. Yeah, Patty, jasmine smells really good too. I have jasmine also. That's another one. Here's how the top looked, and then we got like this little pieces of soap dough that just kind of stuck to the top. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and try cutting this. Because I did use a water discount, part of the soap is going to be a lot firmer than the other part, which is normal, but I'm just hoping it'll cut through easily. Okay, I'm going to try to line this up so I can cut the bottom off without going too far. I don't want to waste too much soap. Okay, this might put a dent on the side from the cutter, but we'll see. The disc is still in there. No, the disc was pulled through. I was able to pull the disc out. It's just that because the batter was in two parts and one part of the batter was really thick. So when I pulled the disc out, it dragged that thicker batter to the top rather than making a swirl. So I'm gonna have to do it a little bit differently this time. I'm not gonna stick blend that part of the soap, the part that got thick. I'm going to be using the my whisk instead and see if that helps. Okay, so let's see if we got any swirl at all. So we'll start at this end. This was the bottom. This is where both parts of the batter were the most fluid when we first put it in. So here's how that looks. So there is a design. It's not like a there is a design. It's not like the flower pull through design, but there is something there. It looks kind of cool. So that's the first one. And let's go to the next one here. This is the next one. So this is like the mirror image of that first one. And then here's the other side. That looks kind of cool. That looks like a giant, I don't know, like a giant flower or something. That's kind of neat. Or like maybe a cloud. Okay, let's try the next one. Okay, here's this side. So you can see like probably what happened is when I pulled that tool through here, since this, I'm guessing this is this darker one is probably the thicker batter. It didn't, you can see like right here, these little places where it pulled through properly, but then here it probably just like, when I pulled it through, it just resettled back into place. And here's that side. That was the mirror image of the other side. So this is getting closer to the top, this part here. This smells really good too. Has a really fresh kind of spring, almost grassy scent to it. It's really pretty. Okay, there's this. So this is the mirror image of that first one or that last one. And then here's, we're getting closer to the top. See, we're sort of losing what pattern we had. It's getting more like larger sections, but that's still kind of cool. It looks like the moon. Let's do this next one here. So this is a mirror image of that last one. And then here's the other side. You can see because, yeah, see this is the dark was the thicker part of the batter. So you can see that we're getting a little bit of air pockets here because it was so thick that it held its shape and it didn't let the air escape. So that means this last one's going to have some air pockets too. And then of course that's the top. So this part, I'll probably cut that for samples. But this one has a bunch of little air pockets. So, but you can see there's still like a kind of a cool design. It just doesn't have the design of the pull through tool. And that's fine. So the soap is actually really good. It smells really nice. It just doesn't have the design I wanted. So we're going to try it again. And I'm just going to see, because I want to see if it's even possible to do this. I feel like it should be. It should be possible to get a pull through tool through this batter as long as I don't let it get as thick as I did last time. So that was completely my fault. And so what I'm doing here is I'm just those little air pockets. I took a little piece of the end of the soap. You can see it's like really soft still. So I'm just pushing it into the holes and kind of like filling them in. So hopefully that will. So now that's that side, and this side there's no air pockets. And I'll show you again since I accidentally did that off the camera. So here's this, right? Here's the little holes. You could just push the soap batter or whatever this is, the soft soap into that. But you can see how soft the soap is. This is why we have to let it cure because there's so much water in this. If you tried to you could wash your hands with this, it'd be safe. But you see how soft it is? That would just dissolve. It wouldn't last very long. So that's why, like when people ask about the cure time and stuff, that's why we want to make sure it's not soft like this. So what I'm going to do with this little sample bar, or this little top piece, we'll make sample bars. Let me move this out of the way. And what we'll do is just cut this in half, and then we'll cut it this way. Okay, and then I'll cut it the other way later. So we'll get 2 thin discs, and then I will also cut them like this way later on. So that's what that looks like. So those came out pretty cool. I'm still happy with how they turned out. I just want to see if we can get a design, like a pull through design. Let me just see what you guys are saying. I move up to it. Hey, thank you, Patty. Yeah, they do look really fresh, and they're neat because you've got this really cool design, but there was no color added, which is really fun. You like the top the way it is? Yeah, moon craters, right? Yeah, I like it with the holes. I mean, it doesn't bother me, but some people um, don't want the holes in there, so I just clean them out. I feel like it gives it a little bit more of a like a polished look. But what I'll do is if this is successful, if we can get this to work, maybe we could try this with like a solid color. So like for example, we could make a pink soap and use different water amounts and see if we get a light and a dark pink. See if that the water, messing around with the water amounts will also change how the color is, how it's, I don't know, how it appears, I guess. So I'm just getting all this out from between. This is soap towel, Ian. You can see how it does a pretty good job of getting all that the soap comes out. Mostly what this is for though is the oil and the wet soap batter. It really cleans it up really, really well. Okay. And they're not super big, so if I just have a small soap project, like most of my soap projects are only, a pound or two, they're not these massive projects. Then I don't have this great big towel filling up my laundry. It's just a small one like this. This is a little bit bigger than a washcloth. See? Or maybe the size of a generous washcloth. But yeah, it's perfect for this. And also the smaller size means like I can get down into like inside the tools, like inside my little buckets, not buckets, little pitchers and things, and wipe them out. But I don't have this big massive amount of towel knocking things over, because I would definitely knock things over. All right, so I'm going to put this away, and I'll be right back, and we'll get working on that second batch. Okay. Okay. Let's wipe this up. Looks like some of that mica got stuck on the foot of my soap cutter from the previous soap. The brown from that basket was stuck on the table. All right, let me go put these soap shreds out of the way. Oh yeah, and I better put these on the shelf to cure as well. So let me go do that. Also, the benefit of making these two soaps that are essentially the same, making them close together like this, is that they should be done curing about the same time. And then I could put them in the shop at the same time, so we don't have to like wait extra time. All right. I'm just stacking them in here carefully. Okay, there we go. All right, so those are set. There we go. All right. Oh, also, since we have this here and we're on the topic anyway, that really soft bit of soap here, you see how it's like really mushy? This is how we would make like a soap dough or a soap clay. So at this point, if I was making soap dough, um, this would be the consistency that I would want. This nice, soft, pliable soap dough. And see, we can kind of mush it down and make shapes out of it and do things with it. We can roll it out. This is a little bit wet because it literally just came out of the mold, but if I was to work with this to make something, I would usually let it sit out. Like after I would mix it like this, get it all like incorporated again, and then let it sit for a few minutes. And that contact with the air, especially on a dry day, will be enough to get it to be not sticky, and then I can roll it out and do things with it. I usually use parchment paper. Um, so like for example, put a blob here, and then I can smash it down with the paper, and then when I peel the paper back, I've got a nice little flat piece that I can do something with. So that's what the soap dough, um, like that's how I would make the soap dough. And then I would just use a little palette knife to scrape underneath it and pull my little shapes out. That way I don't smash it like what I just did. Um, but this is a cool way of making. That's like Play-Doh, like for kids. They can play with it. They can make shapes, and then they set it on the shelf. And then later on, when they go to use it, it's a bar soap, and they've made essentially their own little like toy bar soap, but it's like real soap that they can use. Um, but yeah, so this stuff is really really handy for me. Doing a lot of my designs, like the little baskets on those hot air balloons, and the cats and the cat soaps and stuff like that are made from this kind of soap dough. I'm going to set it here so that it doesn't spill because I can use those scraps to test with later. Okay, enough of me dawdling. What are you guys saying here? Oh, the top piece looks like craters. Yeah, it does. You're right, Stacy. I know. I know. I think it's cool. I like the texture. Like when you're washing with the textured soap like that, it's just like it's scrubbing your hands. It's kind of cool. Just switch to your phone. You got to light a fire. Oh my gosh. In the house. I know, right? It's like when people ask me where the ice cream is, and I'm like, oh, it's in the oven. Where does the ice cream belong? I don't know. I know what they're asking, but it's so much more fun to give a smart aleck answer. Okay, I'm gonna get my face shield. Let me take the headset off. Okay, hopefully that didn't bother anybody's ears. Alrighty, so here's the 2 pots of oil that I have melted down. Okay, so they've cooled off nicely. Okay, good. All right, that's perfect. All right, here's my 2 pots of lye. And here's the mold with the pull through tool. And also this time I'm going to do something a little different. The pull through tool I'm using is the flower that has the larger openings, because just in case the soap batter does get a little bit thick, it should still fit through these holes. And I'm hoping that that will solve some of the problem from last time. I really want to see if this design, if we can make a design with this method, with this ghost pour. So in a house. Yes, of course. Yeah, it's cold there. So lucky, so lucky. Okay, so I'm gonna put this here, and I'm also gonna try again. We're gonna attempt these. We're gonna attempt these little bottles. We're gonna attempt. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But we're gonna try. And then I did decide to go ahead and try that cotton and grass, or that cotton grass from Nurture Soap, because it does smell really good. Has a really nice like springtime fragrance. It didn't seem to accelerate or cause any problems. So I'm actually going to go ahead and use up the rest in this, because I think that um, it's a really good springtime fragrance, and I think everybody will like it. So let me just see what you guys are saying. Okay, yeah, the weather. Yeah, he gets snow and stuff. He's really lucky. Okay, and then I've got my whisk here for this. And I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I'm not. So we got the fragrance oil in already. Oh yeah, my stick blender. Okay. Yeah. So for the side that has a lot of water, got my stick blender. So we know that the method works as far as like getting that ghost swirl, like the lighter and darker shades of whatever that was. That worked, but now we're just trying to get it to work with the pull through tool. So okay. What I'm going to do is we're going to prepare. This is the side that has the most water. We're going to prepare this side first, get it in the bottle and everything. And then what we'll do is get this, and as soon as the other side, and then as soon as this side is able to go, we'll pour it in the bottles quickly and we'll start immediately. And at that point, I won't be able to like read the chat. So if I mess up, you won't be able to warn me. So yeah, let's go ahead and we'll start on this side. Okay, yeah, this is the side that has, I'm gonna double check, the whole measure twice, pour your lye once sort of a thing. And again, I forgot to get different containers for the lye, but that's okay. I'm sure it'll be just fine. And if it's not, well, we will make it work somehow. All right, so this might be loud, so a headset warning. Oops. Okay. So that's not quite mixed. Let's try. Okay, this is as far as I want to go. I'm just gonna wait because we can always stick blend more. We can't take it away. So we're gonna actually no, we can't because we're gonna pour it in the bottle. That's right. All right, so what I'm gonna do with the side is I don't need this anymore. Since I'm pouring it in here, I can always shake it up if I think it's like it needs more. Like, well, just trying to see. There's a little bit of misbehaving going on in there. I think it's because of how much water is in the side. That's why it's. I looked in and I could see a little separation, so I think it's going to be okay. I want to see if this will all fit in one container. If it does, it's kind of handy because then I can just shake it if I need to. Okay, it looks like it's pretty close. Wow, that's exactly like this far from the top. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to save this in here because we need that, and then I will scrape the last bit in here. So I apologize if I'm blocking the camera. I'm trying to not mess up. We had all of our mess ups on Saturday. Okay. Okay, so I'll put this lid on. All right, so this, just checking. I'm checking to make sure there's no like separation going on. I don't see anything. There's pieces of soap stuck to it though, but that doesn't matter. Okay. And then this side. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and put the lye on this side, and then we're gonna blend this with just the whisk. That'll give this side, the side we already poured, time to like misbehave if it's going to, so we'll know right away. Did I just put this in the lye water? Yeah, I did, didn't I? Brilliant. Okay, that's fine. It's not gonna matter. All right. See, we're off to a great start. I'm going to use this to scrape. I'll use this one. Make sure that I get all the water because we need like this is supposed to be the side with the least amount of water, but we need all of it. So there we go. That's going in. And this also has, just like the other one, it has sea salt and all that in it. So oh, there is something I did forget though. Let me grab it. I'll put it on. Well, might be too late actually because I won't be able. Never mind. It's fine. We got the sea salt and stuff in here, so it's fine. All right, I'm gonna. So this should not take very long, in theory. Okay. So at this point, as soon as this gets thick enough to put in the bottle, I won't be able to check the chat because we're gonna have to move fast. And already, yeah, this looks totally fine. No separating. Okay, so this is a definitely thickening. Let me just, I'm checking the consistency. I want to make sure I don't mess this up. Okay, at this point I'm going to take this headset off too because it's hindering my ability to see what's going on. Sometimes it's more dangerous if you can't see. Okay, so I'm going to pour this in. This is really, really thick, like gluey, which isn't bad. It's just, it needs to not get any thicker. And we should have a little bit less on this side because there's less water. And it looks like that's what we got, so that's good. And, okay. I'm going to stop messing with it, move everything out of the way. Quick, 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 go, go, go. All right, so I'm going to do my best to keep this in frame, but if I screw up, I apologize in advance. All right, so here's this. We're going to start with the light since we do have a little more of that. And I'm going to try to put quite a bit down there. So I'm going to have to, okay, there we go. So that's the bottom. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to try a little bit of this side. I think I should just hold these, I think is what I should do. Since I've only got two to work with, I'm trying to see around the camera. Okay, there's some of that side, this side. Okay, yeah, that's already looking better. I'm going to move this slightly because I cannot see. I'm going to see if I can get it to where we can both see. That'd be the best. Okay, there we go. Okay, there's that side. This side. I can feel the darker side. I can feel it like thickening as I'm working. So good thing I got this in when I did. I just hope I'll be able to get the pull through tool through it. I think I will. Okay. I cannot see. Okay. I don't know if I can. Whoops. This is starting to misbehave already. I'm going to try putting more. Oops. I'm going to try putting more. I apologize for bumping the camera so much. Okay. Okay. We're getting towards the end of these bottles. I might be able to squeeze out a little more. Whoops. Might be good if I was aiming into the mold. Okay. I think we'll stop there on that one. All right. Okay, so I gotta do quick, go, go, go. Hey, this is actually going through smoothly this time. All right, sorry for all the camera bumping. So we got a little bit here on top, but not as bad as before. And you can see how it actually pulled through and you got that cute little design on the top. That, well, it's not really a design, it's just the texture on the top. Trying to get air bubbles out. So, besides that being total chaos, I think it worked out. You can see here on the sides, you can see the lines. Whereas before it went light to dark, now you can see like this clear separation. So I think this one will be okay. I think. So what I like to do with this is I take one of my usual molds, I stick it in, and that helps prevent it from falling over. And then I put it in the oven to gel. So, whew. Well, that was a marathon. Let me grab the little side molds here. Alright. Okay. I'll go ahead and make a little mold, little individual bar. Okay. Oh yeah, let me get the inside the container scraper. Well, that's a good way to get your adrenaline going, I guess. Nice detail. Are you talking about the the sides, the going down the side, or on that, Lorna? I did not. Let me get this cleaned up real quick. All right, I'm going to start by scraping these into here. Whoops. Because I'm actually starting by making a mess. Never mind. All right. In fact, let me just see if I can. There we go. Oh, the design. Yeah, thank you. I hope it comes out nice. We'll see what happens, but I hope it does. All right, I'm going to scrape all this soap off of here. Tink. Yeah, that was right, like literally the last second. Because, like you saw, that last bit of the dark soap that I put in kind of just sat on top of the tool. So had we waited, had I mixed that for even like 10 more seconds or 2 more seconds, probably it would have been too thick. So, like I said, I guess we'll find out, on Thursday whether or not the design comes through in the soap. But as far as being able to put that thick soap in one of these little containers, and whether or not you can fill the mold, so far that's been a success, kind of. I'm sure other people don't want that much drama in their lives. You probably think this is a terrible idea, but it worked. And I think also if I use a different recipe, because my recipe is kind of middle of the road. It doesn't get super thick super fast, but it doesn't stay fluid for a really, really long time. When you use a water discount, or like I was saying before about floral fragrances, all of that seems to set up really fast, which it would anyway, but just like I said, mine's sort of like the middle of the road. I considered doing this as a Castile soap, so it'd be just olive oil only, or maybe like a Bastille where it was like olive oil soap, but then also something else, another like softer oil. And I didn't, only because I wanted to see if I could get it to work with this recipe, and also because Castile soaps take, like I always say, they take 6 to 12 months to fully cure. And I didn't want this sitting around for 6 to 12 months if I could avoid it. So I guess the answer to my question is yes, it's doable, but it may not be worth it. It just kind of depends. And as you can see, because it did, this is actually the thinner side, but because it does kind of thicken up, it results in a lot of like leftover soap batter. So I'm going to have at least one full sidebar or additional bar or whatever. I'll have at least one extra, plus probably a little bit more for like a tester bar. And I really would prefer that the whole thing be, as much of the batter as possible go into the design, because that's kind of the point. So this is kind of, so far it's like, okay, it's possible, but is it worth it? I don't know yet. We'll see. So I may just either alter my recipe. Yeah, so look how thick this is. It's like a blizzard. Let's just serve it upside down. But yeah, so basically, this worked, but if I was to do this again, I'd either find a fragrance that decelerated, so one that slowed the batter down, or I would whisk the soap batter for a shorter amount of time and just stop at the soonest possible moment. Like I would just make sure that it was as soon as possible. I'm going to see if I can get a design in here. And then also, I'd probably try a recipe that had more soft oils so that it didn't accelerate as quickly. Just, I just alter the whole thing. But it does look like it's working. So, I mean, so far. Anyways, I'm just excited to see the cut. I want to see what happens. Okay, so that's pretty good. Yeah, this is practically this is so funny. This is practically Play-Doh. Look at this. Yeah. So that explains what happened last week. Okay, let's put that in there. I'm going to try to get air bubbles out and get this to level out. All right. All right, and then we'll try a swirl on this. Might as well. Let's see. Oh yeah, so here's an example. These towels. I mean, I know this is just my hands and not my actual tools, but yeah, there we go. So, all right, let me get the swirl tool. Okay, I've got my +1 chopstick of texture, and we'll try doing a little. Okay, yeah, that's really thick. I don't know what that's going to look like. It's probably going to look, it's so thick, it's probably going to look exactly like how it looks now. Just see if I can knock that down a little. Okay, I should probably leave it alone as much as I want to keep playing with it, because I think if I mess with it too much, I want to mess with it though. Let me just try something. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I'll leave it alone now. But yeah, we'll see. I think this bar obviously is going to be fine, but I'm so curious to see what that looks like. Let me just see what you guys are saying really quick here. All right, Patty, thanks for hanging out. Let me just see what you're saying here. I could push this like into the top. I could just like squish it down. Um it would be like a stamp kind of. We could probably do it now. It's probably firm enough. But it might not. If I waited until it firmed up, I'd have to catch it at the right time and take it out of the oven probably. But since the top isn't smooth, it would be like a bumpy top with like the hint of a pattern in it. Let me just see here. I'm just gonna wipe this down real quick. Okay. Yep. So I think just because it's so thick that, and I didn't pour it in. Now I think what you were suggesting with stamping the top of the soap with that swirl tool, I could if I had poured this when it was more fluid and it leveled out, and then yeah, I could do that, and it would leave kind of a pattern. It wouldn't be super fine because it would look really thick like this, but it would still work probably. Um, but since this is so thick, the top isn't level, and if I push it down in there too far, I could break the tool. So, because it's like a 3D printed type material. If I push down and put too much force, it could damage it. So that's why I'd be kind of concerned about doing it that way. But yeah, I could try it on another soap in the future with a level top. We could try it and see what it looks like. That'd be kind of cool. I'm just gonna finish wiping this down, and then I'm gonna stick this in the oven. And then these need to get clean. But look, that looks so much better than how it did before. That little tool is pretty handy. That spoon. Um, so I'm gonna go ahead and get all this stuff in the oven and get this in the sink before before it turns to dark. Oh, let me show you the towels. What am I thinking? Okay, so like, see how there's like batter on the spoon, or the spatula? I just take this and I wipe it like this, and you can kind of see like the clean side and the dirty side. It's like already completely different. And so now that was really, really fast. And then when I go to wash this, you just get a little bit of like hot soapy water and just, wash it real quick and set it aside. You don't have to scrub off the soap. You don't have to like pick it off because it's dried on or anything. Um, Let me show you a container. So we've got this container. It's got quite a bit of soap stuff on it, and again, this is going to turn into soap. If I just set it on the counter in a couple of hours, probably this would just be soap, and you could just wash with it. But the reason I don't do that is just because it's like it's thick. It's like really thick soap, so you have to kind of use your nail to like scrape it off, or let it soak and soak off, and that just takes time and wastes water. So if I do this, you can already see like right here, all that soap is already gone. And then I just stick it down in here and I wipe it around. And this line here is from the water because I put this in a hot water bath, like a double boiler kind of situation to melt it. And that's just the minerals from the water on there. That's not actually soap batter. So anyways, I just wipe it out like that. And already, see, It's like basically clean. So all I have to do now is just get, again, some hot soapy water and just wash it out real quick. It's not all greasy, and it's not there's no like thick layers of soap. We can do it with this one too. In fact, let's start with this. Got this. See the clean side, dirty side. And that's done. And it's just so fast. So this just cuts down on the time spent washing dishes. I think, oh, there's a little piece there. But see, it's just so much better. And then I'm not getting soap everywhere. I mean, these little things, I have like a little, like a bottle cleaner brush, and I put that through that gets pushed to the spigot. So I want to set that in there because I can't do that with this, but I'll set that there. Actually, this can be wiped off, but because of the holes, like the lattice type design, what I usually do with this, also because of little teeny tiny, I don't know if you can see those little teeny tiny like bolt on there with the washers, I soak this just because of that, because I don't want to risk losing those little tiny washers and bolts. Otherwise, I would not be able, or yeah, the bolts. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to use it. So let me wipe this going around this side. I usually go around the edge first to make sure I get that clean, and then I turn this over and you can even see from the outside, it just gets clean. And then you just have this really thin film of soap batter in there. And then what I do with this, and you see I cleaned both of these, all my tools basically. The lye water containers, I wash those. I don't put that directly on here because that probably would over time damage these towels. And these you can't really get in there with one of these. You can't get all the way down. So those I will usually just wash with soapy water. But you can see, like this towel, like this is full of soap batter, but over here it's still clean. I could keep going and keep wiping things down, and then I just toss this in the laundry. And then when we wash the towels, they just go in with the towels, um, and then this is how they look when they come out. They wash really good, and they hold up to washing and drying very well. I throw them in the dryer. I haven't had any problems with them at all. Yeah, the washer definitely smells good. That is totally true. So, um, even sometimes the dirty laundry smells good because you can't really smell anything over the smell of the soap. But yeah, so I'll wipe everything down, and then this just go throw in the laundry, and then nothing, like I don't have raw soap batter laying out. Because sometimes people will pick something up without seeing what's in it. They don't get that way. They don't get raw batter on their hands, and I don't know. It's just what I found that was most efficient. So that's what I've been doing. And even like this so I've got this whisk. This can be washed also. So I find like a clean side, and I just go up the little middle um, pieces of the whisk, and then at the top here, just get all the batter off. So even this now is just super easy to clean. I just stick that in here. I mean, essentially the stuff looks clean. It's not, but so that way, whenever you're going to do the dishes, it's just like a 5-minute job instead of however long it takes to soak and scrub and whatever. Um, yeah. So these have been like a massive lifesaver. So I need to go put this in the laundry, and I need to put all the stuff away and put this soap in the oven. So I'm going to go do that. If you guys have any suggestions, though, anything you want to see in the future, definitely leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear you guys' ideas, and I love making the stuff you suggest. It's so much fun. So I can't wait. We are going to be doing that orange soap soon. And also, I am probably going to do my next upload on Saturday instead of Thursday, because I got a lot of stuff going on this week, and I don't want to have to rush through, maybe we can come back and do the cutting on Thursday. Actually, I might have to. I might have to do the cutting on this on Thursday because this will firm up too much before Saturday. So I may still do that, but we'll see. It's up in the air for Thursday. But and then also, if you're new, please consider liking and subscribing because it really helps me out. And it's so great to have all of you guys here. And thank you so much for hanging out with me. This was really fun. Can't wait to see the cut, and I'll see you guys all later. Have a great night.